Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Pisces, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week is the Temperance card. This is actually in a lot of ways, I feel like this is a lot of you Pisceans getting back to how you felt maybe, let's say 6-7 weeks ago. I know a lot of you were like in a really good sort of snappy place, and then obviously the run up to the conjunction began, and then everything started to unravel for everybody in some way, shape or form. But what this really says to me is you are starting to equilibrate. Like this is, I don't even know if that's a word, but it is now. This is about you really finding that even keel. For a lot of you, this suggests to me that this might be a week where you start to dig back into your spiritual roots. So, and this doesn't mean that you suddenly get super spiritual. It doesn't mean that you suddenly start a spiritual practice. What it means is you're starting to feel those balancing of those levels on the internal, and you're starting to think about how your inner world is creating your outer reality. I think a lot of you are going to be very aware of this week. Maybe this is that you start to take in, because this is the thing, like, there's a common misconception. I've met so many Pisceans that are like not spiritual at all. Like they're just like, everyone's like, oh, it's such a spiritual sign, man. And it's like, I've met so many Pisceans that are like, no. So obviously they'll have other placements, and that, totally takes it shapes it, but it's not always that. All right, so that being said, I think a lot of you this week will start to become aware of that and maybe start to err towards it. Maybe a lot of you could be really delving into your deeper sort of inner world this week and starting to express more of that more openly, which could be really nice as well. For your actions and options this week, if you are a continued subby, Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options, you have the 8 of Cups. So I was already talking about you addressing like your inner sort of spiritual and emotional world, and then you get the 8 of Cups as your actions and options. This is about you being really honest about where you are in your heart. This is about you being really honest with yourself and the world about where you are in love. This is you being really honest and open about what desires within you are yet or are as yet unfulfilled. So for a lot of you, I actually feel like this is going to be a really powerful moment of self-honesty, but I feel like this honesty isn't just about you saying to yourself, yes, this is what's not fulfilled for me, or yes, I would like more of this, or, I feel like I haven't done that. It's not just acknowledging those things, it's actually speaking them out into existence so that you can start to address them. And when you do that and you have that level of honesty, you start to tap into what we call alignment. And when you start to tap into alignment, the things that you say you want and desire, like literally just by acknowledging the fact that you want them and that they're going unfulfilled, they tend to start then shaping up for us, or at least the conditions start to shape up for us where we can start to make those things happen for ourselves. So I am in love with this for you guys. For your communications and conversations, you have the Daughter of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles. In your communications, a lot of you are talking about things that you're ready to learn. A lot of you this week are probably acknowledging, I feel like in your communications, like in your conversations this week, a lot of you might be saying, actually, I don't know. And you know what? I'm going to go on this amazing, path or quest to find that information to answer the questions that I currently have. And I think this is a big part of how this shows up for you practically. It's like you're realizing what questions, yes, you're figuring out what your desires are and the things that you really want that you maybe haven't spoken out to the world. But more importantly, you're starting to acknowledge what you need to learn in order for those things to take shape. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, Some of you might decide that you want to go down the health route. Maybe you want to be a doctor, maybe you want to be a nurse, maybe you want to be a health practitioner, maybe you want to be anything within all of those broad fields. For some of you, this really does feel like you might be heading in that way, or you're starting to work more with people that need assistance or remedial action in some way. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this is a moment of honesty about where the job that you do currently isn't up to scratch, where it isn't quite delivering what you would like it to or want it to. And I feel like a lot of you are probably ready to start voicing that to an employer so that it's not an issue, so that it doesn't become a problem, so that it doesn't become a thing. It's like you can be really honest, really open, and really maybe even like forthright with your boss to say, look, this, I feel like my skills are not sort of expanding enough, or I feel like I'm not being utilized enough. Maybe I'm not learning enough. And these are the things that I feel are gaps in my knowledge. How can we fulfill those together? For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is really about you looking at bridging the gap between what is knowledgeable and what is expertise level. So I think for a lot of you, this is taking it back to the drawing board to say to yourselves, okay, you know what? I'm good at what I do. Here's where I can improve. Here's where I can get better. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you went after a coach or a mentor this week, or at least started to look into that sort of thing. And then for those of you that are retired and no longer working, this could literally see you called in to care for loved ones and or either elderly or the young. It won't be people in between. It will be people that are not really able to fully kind of look after and support themselves. So there is a support energy here where you are called upon for your assistance. And I wonder if this has something to do with you figuring out, like, actually, you know what, I want to take more of a health sort of direction with what I'm doing for work. For your love and relations, you've got that Ace of Cups. That's a true love card. So if you're dating, if you're seeing someone, if you're newly seeing someone, that with the Temperance card is beautiful. For those of you that are single and looking, your heart is so open right now that you are attracting the best and brightest of the people that you have as options for the current level of energy that you're vibrating to, which is a really fancy way of saying this means that you could meet someone great because they're meeting you exactly where you are without having to change you or adapt you or expect you to be something that you're not. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, I love this for you and your partner figuring out the next steps, and you're doing this together. And it's like, you know what? I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. I'm happy to outsource some of this. Should we, it's like you're open to all of the possibilities, but you're also open to the different ways that the answers for those possibilities can come to you, which is just, is there any better way to be? For your money and materials, you've got the Sun card. Pisces, look at this. All right, so underneath the Page of Pentacles, there are opportunities here. There are pockets of opportunities, and there are pockets of potential of making more or raking more in this week when it comes to things. For some of you, this is literally a week where money can go through the roof. For some of you, it's your significant other that is bringing in that extra crust this week, which is very nice. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Sun card is a great card for health and vitality because it basically says there's no issues. Like, you're good. And if you have challenges or even chronic situations, especially for those of you that are already interacting with healthcare professionals for things that you have going on, this could be a week of breakthroughs. It could be a week of illuminating the answers or the way that you navigate out of this, which is really exciting. For your home and environment, I just got to be honest, even with that Eight of Cups, yes, it's a vulnerable card, but it's making you vulnerable in a way that makes you open. And because you've got the Sun card here in the money and materials, it's like not only is home your sanctuary, and you've got the Ace of Cups in the love and relations, it's like the home and the people at home is where your heart really is, and you're feeling in a really great space. with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.